A teacher's dilemma: the price of silence. In today's educational landscape, teachers often find themselves caught between a rock and a hard place, struggling to maintain order and discipline while adhering to increasingly restrictive policies. Miss Johnson, a dedicated fifth-grade teacher, faced a heartbreaking predicament. She had always been passionate about teaching, pouring her heart and soul into her students' education. Her classroom was a place of learning, growth, and mutual respect, or at least it used to be. A student, Mark, consistently disrupted the class, bullying other children and showing open disrespect. His behavior was not just a minor inconvenience, it was a significant barrier to the learning process for everyone involved. Miss Johnson, bound by strict school policies, felt powerless to intervene effectively. She was well aware that any attempt to discipline Mark could result in severe repercussions for her career. The fear of being labelled as too harsh or insensitive loomed large. Traditional disciplinary measures were off the table, deemed too harsh or potentially traumatizing. The tools that once helped maintain order and respect in the classroom were now considered relics of a bygone era, replaced by policies that prioritized the emotional well-being of the students, sometimes at the expense of discipline. The administration, fearful of lawsuits, prioritized appeasement over accountability. They were more concerned with avoiding legal battles and negative publicity than addressing the root of the problem. This approach left teachers like Miss Johnson in a precarious position, unable to enforce rules or maintain a conducive learning environment. Mark, sensing this leniency, continued his behavior, creating a chaotic learning environment for everyone else. His actions went unchecked, and the other students began to lose faith in the system that was supposed to protect them and ensure their right to a quality education. Miss Johnson's hands were tied, her voice silenced by the fear of reprisal. She felt a profound sense of helplessness, knowing that her ability to teach and guide her students was being undermined by policies that left her powerless. This is the price of overprotection, a classroom stripped of consequences, where teachers are stifled and students suffer. The well-intentioned policies meant to safeguard students' emotional well-being have inadvertently created an environment where disruptive behavior thrives, and the true purpose of education is lost in the chaos. In recent decades, the landscape of school discipline has shifted dramatically. Zero-tolerance policies, initially enacted to combat drugs and violence, have expanded their reach, often with unintended consequences. These policies, while well-intentioned, can be excessively rigid, lacking the nuance required to address the complexities of student behavior. Minor infractions can result in severe punishments, disproportionately impacting marginalized students. This one-size-fits-all approach fails to consider individual circumstances, creating an environment where even minor missteps can have lasting repercussions. The consequences of excessive overprotection extend far beyond hypothetical scenarios. In today's educational landscape, the impact is tangible and often detrimental. There are countless real-life examples of teachers rendered powerless by restrictive policies and litigious parents. These policies, while well-intentioned, often leave educators feeling unsupported and vulnerable. A teacher in Florida was reprimanded for removing a disruptive student from the classroom, deemed a violation of the student's right to an education. This incident underscores the delicate balance teachers must maintain between managing classroom behavior and adhering to strict regulations. In another case, a student who repeatedly cheated on exams faced no academic penalties, as parents threatened legal action, claiming emotional distress. This situation highlights the challenges teachers face in upholding academic integrity while navigating parental pressures. These incidents highlight a disturbing trend: the erosion of teacher authority and the prioritization of perceived student comfort over accountability. When teachers are unable to enforce rules and maintain discipline, the overall learning environment suffers. Students may feel emboldened to misbehave, knowing that consequences are minimal or non-existent. The long-term effects of this overprotection can be profound. Teachers may experience burnout, frustration, and a sense of helplessness. This can lead to high turnover rates, further destabilizing the educational system. Moreover, students miss out on valuable lessons about responsibility and the importance of adhering to rules. To create a more balanced and effective educational environment, it is crucial to support teachers in their roles as authority figures. By doing so, we can ensure that students receive a well-rounded education that includes both academic knowledge and essential life skills. Overprotection, while seemingly benevolent, can have detrimental effects on students' psychological development. By shielding children from the natural consequences of their actions, we inadvertently deprive them of crucial learning opportunities. Failure, while unpleasant, is an integral part of growth, teaching resilience, problem-solving, and personal responsibility. When students are constantly protected from setbacks, they never develop the coping mechanisms needed to navigate the challenges of adulthood. This creates a generation ill-equipped to handle adversity, prone to anxiety, and lacking the grit required to persevere. Section 5. A society without consequences, the ripple effect. The consequences of raising a generation without accountability extend far beyond the classroom, rippling outward into society at large. When students are not held accountable for their actions, they may carry these behaviors into adulthood, affecting their personal and professional lives. A lack of discipline can manifest in various ways: disregard for rules and authority, diminished work ethic, and a general sense of apathy. This can create environments where chaos and disorder become the norm rather than the exception. Students who cheat on exams or avoid responsibilities are not just harming their own futures, but also setting a precedent for others. This behavior can lead to a culture where cutting corners and avoiding hard work is accepted, even expected. This can lead to a society where entitlement reigns supreme and personal accountability becomes an afterthought. When individuals believe they are above the rules, it undermines the very principles that hold communities together. Ignoring consequences and dismissing authority figures can result in a breakdown of trust and respect within the community. This erosion of social norms can make it difficult to maintain order and cooperation. The very fabric of a functioning society relies on individuals who understand the relationship between actions and consequences, a principle instilled from a young age. Teaching children about responsibility and accountability helps them grow into conscientious adults. A society that values accountability fosters a culture of trust, respect, and cooperation. By instilling these values early on, we can ensure that future generations are equipped to handle the challenges of life with integrity and responsibility. Section 6. The other side of the coin: protecting children from harm. Opponents of stricter disciplinary measures argue that child protection should be paramount. They highlight the potential for abuse, both physical and emotional, inherent in traditional disciplinary methods. They advocate for restorative justice approaches, emphasizing conflict resolution and rehabilitation over punishment. Their concerns are valid. Protecting children from harm is undeniably crucial. However, it's essential to recognize that true protection involves equipping children with the tools to navigate the world responsibly, not shielding them from it entirely. Section 7. A delicate balance empowering teachers, safeguarding students. Finding a solution requires striking a delicate balance empowering teachers while simultaneously safeguarding students' well-being. This involves revisiting zero-tolerance policies, injecting flexibility and common sense into their application. It necessitates fostering open communication between educators, parents, and students, creating a collaborative approach to discipline. Furthermore, it requires investing in teacher training, providing educators with the skills and resources to address challenging behaviors effectively and compassionately. Section 8. A call for change: rethinking discipline in the 21st century. The time has come to rethink our approach to discipline in the 21st century. This requires moving away from a culture of fear and litigation, fostering an environment where teachers feel supported in maintaining order and rooms. It necessitates engaging in open and honest dialogues about the long-term consequences of overprotection, acknowledging that true compassion lies in preparing students for the realities of life from it. Section 9. Towards a brighter future: nurturing responsibility and resilience. By embracing a balanced approach to discipline, we can create a brighter future for our children. A future where classrooms are havens of learning, where teachers are empowered to guide and nurture, and where students develop into responsible, resilient, and engaged citizens. It's time to trust our educators, equip them with the tools they need, and work together to create a generation prepared to face the challenges and triumphs that lie ahead.